bad. All right, we're still talking about 1.6, graphing using slope-intercept form. We have two special cases, okay? The special cases are y equal a number, i.e. there's no x. You don't see an x and it's just y equals a number. That is a special case, okay? It doesn't really look like slope-intercept form, but we have to know what to do with that. An example would be y equals 7 or y equals -3. Okay, those are examples of this special case. You need to have some things memorized. If you have these things memorized, this problem is easy. Okay, the first thing you need to have memorized is what kind of line is it? All right, is there an I right there? Horizontal. I'm writing stuff on the board. Horizontal. So anytime you have y equals a number, like y equals 7 or y equals -3, it is a horizontal line, meaning it looks like this. The other thing that you need to have memorized that will make your life a lot easier is if you know what kind of slope that has. All horizontal lines have what kind of slope? Zero slope. Very good. Write that down, circle it, star it, highlight it, make a note card out. Okay? You must study that and you must know. Examples, right here, y equals 7 would mean I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and all I have to do is draw that line. I don't have to have 3 points. I could put them, but there's my line. If I have this stuff memorized, then graphing it is very easy. How about y equals -3? What do I do there? Down 3 and draw what kind of line? Horizontal. 1, 2, 3, and there's your line. There's y equals -3. There's y equals 7. Questions? Anybody have any questions on graphing using slope-intercept? All right, what's our other special case? We got y equals a number. What's the other one? X equals a number. Okay? X equals a number. X equals a number. Okay? For an example, x equals 4 or x equals -2. X equals 29. X equals 42. X equals -100. Any equation that just has x equals a number always is what kind of line? Vertical. It is always a vertical line. You must memorize that. That's a note card. On the front it says x equals a number. You flip it over and it says vertical. Okay? Then on the next note card it says x equals a number. It flips it over and it says m equals what? No slope or undefined. Very good. M is undefined, or we say no slope. What does M stand for? Slope. M is the universal letter for slope. Okay? Bless you. It does not. I put both because I don't want you to get locked into always thinking it's undefined, because certain tests call it different things. Okay? Great question. All right, so here's our example. X equals 4. How do I graph x equals 4 if I know that it's a vertical line and it has undefined slope? Go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then what do? I draw a vertical line. I need to know that vertical, right, is up and down. Straight, up and down. There and there. How about x equals -2? How would I graph that? Go to the left 2, and then what? Then draw a vertical line. I know it's easy when I'm up here explaining it, walking it through it, leading you down the road, but it has to be easy for you too. The only way it becomes easy for you is if you study. Just like you study in social studies. Okay? Who started the war? What country was it in? Okay? All those facts and years and dates and, you know, country capitals and all that stuff. The same thing is true right here. You must spend time on it and memorize it if you want to know. Okay, we got 2 more things to talk about. How are we doing on time?
5 minutes and 40.
Oh, great. Can I erase this? Any questions? Right, I want to stay on the same board. All right. 2 things that we need to talk about that you already should know a little bit about from middle school is parallel lines and perpendicular. This is still 1.6. Parallel. If I spell these right. Parallel and perpendicular. I always try to put 2 R's in parallel. I think it's 2 L's and only 1 R. Parallel. Parallel and perpendicular lines. Now let's talk conceptually what that means. Some of you know what parallel lines are, some of you don't. Parallel lines look like this, okay, like the lines on a road, okay? They are parallel. A definition would be two lines that are coplanar, meaning they lie in the same plane that never intersect. Two lines that are coplanar that never intersect. You would know that already. I'm not going to ask you for the definition. But you need to know that they never intersect. Specific to what we're doing here, right? What is the relationship between parallel lines? The slope is what? The same. Write that down. Parallel lines have the same slope. What is the symbol for parallel lines? Two lines that kind of look parallel. Okay? Piece of cake. That's all I need you to write down for right now. We'll get more in depth later. Parallel lines look like this. Right? If I were to do the rise and the run and the rise and the run, it would be the same. Okay? The rise and the run are the same for parallel lines. Conceptually, what do perpendicular lines look like? They cross at a 90-degree angle. They intersect at a 90-degree angle. That makes them perpendicular. Okay, so here's one and here's the other. Right there is 90 degrees. Okay, so we say the perpendicular. What is the relationship between their slopes? All right. Anybody else have a guess? You're on the right track. Reciprocal. All right. So we got opposite, we got reciprocal, we got negative, we got some varying answers. Everybody knew that parallel was the same. There you go. We don't say opposite. You might even want to write that down. Okay, or put opposite and put a big X on it. We can't say opposite because that's not definitive enough. Okay? Perpendicular lines, the relationship of their slopes is that they are negative reciprocals. Negative reciprocals. For example, if one of them's 2, then what's the other one going to do? Negative what? 1/2. You change the sign and flip it. How about negative 2/3? If one of them was negative 2/3, what would the other one be? Positive 3/2. All right, I'll try to trip you up. What if one of them was 0? What would the other one be? Undefined. Very good. But 0 can't be on the bottom. Undefined. Very good. So they are negative reciprocals. We don't want to just say opposite because that's not definitive enough. What does opposite mean? Does that mean flip it? Or does that mean change the sign? I don't know. So don't say opposite. Perpendicular lines have negative reciprocals. Their slopes, are negative reciprocals. How are we doing on time?
1 minute and 50.
Perfect. What's the symbol? Excellent question. What is the symbol?
Like
A T, but upside down. The symbol for perpendicular is an upside down T. It's perpendicular. Great question. Great question. Anybody else have a question? Parallel or perpendicular lines. I might just ask you a question. I might give you 2 slopes and say, are they parallel or perpendicular or neither? They love that type of question. Right? And that's CPS. You type that in CPS. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither. We'll do some ones in our workbook. Any other questions? All right, turn it off and get your workbook.